What's up everybody? My name is Zach. Thank you for tuning into today's video. We are checking out the Lambertone Blondies. If you haven't already watched my last video where I broke down my build and what I did with my parts caster, take a look at that up top, either corner. But before we get started, a couple of housekeeping items. These pickups were sent to me from Lambertones to give a review on the product. However, just like you, they are seeing this video at the exact same time and they are not paying me to say anything one way or the other. So as always, you will get my honest opinions about this product. Lastly, if you do want to purchase these pickups or any other products from Lambertones, you can. Down in the description, I will put a link where you will get 10% off of your purchase, and then I will get a small commission from that as well. It helps me prioritize making these videos and dedicate some time to that. So please support the channel in that way. Another free way you can support the channel is to like and subscribe. That way you can stay tuned for future content. All right, let's move forward. Let's talk about the specs in these pickups. Alright, so on Lambertone's website, Curtis describes these pickups as dynamic, open, smooth across the strings, but nice bite if you give it a good pluck. Bridge is slightly overwound with a unique wire pairing that gives it a strong lead tone and is perfect for performance and studio recording. The neck is warm, soulful, full-bodied, and it's going to have a little bit more highs than your traditional neck pickup. Now, as far as the output in the neck, we are measuring in at 5.85 thousand DCR with Alnico 3 pickups. The bridge spec is 7.95 thousand DCR with Alnico 4 pickups and then beveled magnets. That's what's going to give it some pretty unique sounds. Now I went with the filtered cover for the neck pickup for a couple of reasons. The first reason, I honestly just thought it looked cool. And the second reason was I've traditionally found the neck pickup on a Telecaster to be just a little too dark for my taste. So having that open grill, it's going to allow for a little bit more of that high end to bleed through into that mix. Now, one other thing that I did, and that's what's going to make this a little bit of a unique review, I've got a 4-way wiring harness from 920D installed in my parts caster. You saw a little bit of that here at the beginning. You'll hear more of that here when I break down and do some sound samples. But what that fourth position is going to give you is going to be the neck and the bridge position in series rather than in parallel, which is your typical middle position of a Telecaster. In series is basically the same wiring of like a humbucker. However, because you have more space between the two single coils, you have quite a bit different sound. So it gives this really powerful, warm, but not distant or muddy neck tone that's super usable for blues, for rock. You heard it again at the beginning. It's a really powerful kind of change on the traditional neck pickup. Now that we've heard what I've done with this guitar and with these pickups, let's go ahead and hear how these sound for ourselves. Now here are my thoughts about these pickups. When I actually first received them, I was a little unsure about the pickups, and actually that's because of my own error. When I got my guitar and all my pieces for my parts caster, put it together myself and did a rough setup, but to be honest, it wasn't the best, and because of that, I didn't really know where to position the neck and the bridge in relation to the string, and it left the pickups feeling a little underwhelming. However, once I got it set up, I was blown away by how articulate these pickups were, and it just reminded me of how much I've missed having a Telecaster in my arsenal. I've been playing almost exclusively humbucker style guitars for the last couple of years, and it's made me really miss that clarity that you get from a Telecaster or from a single coil pickup. Now I think I have to agree with Curtis about the neck position on these Blondies, and I think it's still very warm, it's full bodied, but there's still incredible string separation, and there's a lot of clarity there where I honestly find myself using that neck pickup all the time, which truthfully I never thought I would. Now the middle position I'm super impressed with as well, because these Blondies are going to have a lot of balance between the neck and the bridge position, so you're not going to lose out on a ton of volume. But this is probably one of my favorite positions. This is still going to give you a nice amount of spank and twang, but you're still getting that warmth and low end from the neck pickup. Nice thing about this as well is because it is wired in parallel, you are then losing out on that 60 cycle hum that you traditionally have with single coil pickups. The nice thing about this position as well is I feel like you can stack on a ton of reverb, a ton of delay, all of the effects you want, and you're still going to hear the guitar just shine and sing through that mix. Now I mentioned earlier that the middle position is one of my favorite positions. The bridge is also one of my favorite positions. The cool thing about these Blondies is I feel like you have all of the power and the oomph of a Les Paul, but you still have all of the clarity of a single coil pickup. Now, as I mentioned before, Curtis has done something unique with this bridge position where you're going to have those beveled magnets, which is going to give you a little bit of a different EQ compared to your standard Telecaster bridge pickup. It's really going to let those lead lines kind of sing through and pop through a mix, but then if you're doing big open chords, you still have all of that clarity as well. Now the last position that we have not talked about is the fourth position, and that's where you're going to have the neck and the bridge in series rather than in parallel like your second position. And like I explained earlier, this gives it more of that humbucker-like sound. However, because of the space between the two coils, you're going to still have a lot more openness from that. I've been blown away by this position. I was a little hesitant to try it because I like the feel of the traditional Tele and where you have the pickup selector. But I figured, heck, if I hate it, I just won't use that position. And since I've got it, I use it all the time. You saw it here at the beginning where I started off that little section, rolled off with the tone knob, and it's got something powerful to it. I love it for blues, for rock, for those lead lines that I have that I don't want that bridge tone where it's super snappy and bright. I want something a little warmer but still with a lot of power. That position is awesome. So I use that all the time. If that's something you're looking at, cannot recommend that enough. I also bought the 920D wiring harness from Lambertones. That was not sent to me for free, but if that's something you guys are looking at, I would strongly recommend that mod as well. It was super easy to install, really doesn't change a whole lot with the wiring, but gives you a ton of versatility in your pickups and the different sounds you can make from your Tele. In conclusion, even though I was initially apprehensive about these pickups, like I mentioned throughout that review, I'm blown away by them. I cannot recommend them enough. And one other thing that's not even about the pickups themselves, but just from Lambertones, I've been blown away by the support that I have received them. Anytime I've sent them a message, they've responded pretty quickly to me, helped me with wiring schematics. They'll typically even like throw in some cool gear with your purchase as well. I've gotten coffee, I've gotten a thermos, just other cool stuff like that that just makes it a little bit more personalized and unique, at least compared to like your bigger pickup companies. So definitely recommend them, guys. If you have any questions, please post it in the comments, like and subscribe. That way you can stay tuned for future content. And yeah, that's all I've got for today. So thanks so much, everybody. See you later.